Let's go live. Okay, are we live? Everybody can see me? Okay, here we go. Hello, hello, hello. Happy Tuesday, everybody. Yes, 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 yes. I know I was missing last week. Listen, sometimes you got to take care of yourself, and that's what I was doing last week. But we are here, we are ready to go. So we are jumping straight into our stories. Just in case some of you don't know what's happening on here, thank you for liking the live, HD McFly. Oh, I like that name, David McFly Mims. Just in case you don't know what's going on here, my name is Natalie Pierre Lewis. I am a business and trademark attorney. Okay. Um, I have been doing that for almost 20 years. I've started multiple businesses for myself and others, both online and offline. I've had many careers in the realms of entrepreneurship, the law, education, hospitality, and administrative support. And most important, I am very passionate about making business and legal education as accessible to everyone as possible. Not everybody has the time, the money, or the desire to go to business school or to law school, but a lot of you guys have amazing business ideas. And if you're going to be successful in business, there are just some things. Oh, thank you. There are just some things that you need to know. There's no way around it. Okay. So that is why I am here to teach you these concepts so that you can be a boss in these streets. Okay. So let's get right to it. We're going to be talking about a lot about copyrights today. Copyrights are a big deal in this day and age. Everybody is putting out content. Everybody, oh, thank you for the rose. Everybody, wants credit for things, right? Um, but here is and copyrights are very important. We're gonna go over two very important copyright stories that happened in the last couple of weeks. So one, how many of you guys are watching the Winter Olympics? If you are watching the Winter Olympics, give me some type of snow emoji, or type Winter Olympics in the comments. Let me know if you are catching in, checking in with the Winter Olympics. Okay. Now I remember growing up when we were watching, we had cable. So my parents did not get cable until I was in college, y'all. Till I left the house. But anyway, I digress. Right. So Winter Olympics, one of my favorite what do you call that? One of my favorite sports categories is the figure skating. You see these people doing these like flips and tricks on the ice, and Surya Bonali. Like I grew up in the age of Surya Bonali, Nancy Kerrigan, Christy Yamaguchi, Tanya Harding, like all of those people who would be on the ice killing it, right? That was um one of my favorite categories, right? And but the music they had, it was never the music never had words. I don't know if growing up, I don't know if y'all recognize that figure skating, or at least Olympic figure skating, when I grew up, the music never had words, right? But recently they started allowing them to add words, to Hey the Mossy Loop. They started allowing them, thank you for the heart, shoot dog. They admin for creatives. Hey, everybody's popping in. Yes. Hey, what y'all doing? What y'all doing? Hey, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Hey, thank you for the heart, me, y'all. Hey, it's a party. It's a party. It's a party. Thank you. All right. So, figure skating, right? When I was growing up, figure skating, the music, hey, admin for creative. Ooh, wait, I got to even put a pause even before I do that. Guys, if you are in the music industry, make sure that you're following admin for creatives right now. Right, not right now, but right now, okay? Admin for creatives. She's getting on here and she is teaching you how to get all your money as as a person in the music industry. Please, 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 please follow admin for creators, because there is no reason in this day and age with her out here in these streets for you to be getting got by these record labels. Okay. Don't be finessed two times. I'm not taking anybody up here right now. No. Okay. All right. Oh no, no. Listen, girl, I'm learning. I be learning when I'm in your room. Okay, I be taking notes. All right. So back to my story, right? So figure skating, when I grew up, the music did not have lyrics, right? It didn't have words. They just had the instrumental. But recently they have started allowing the figure skaters to have lyrics in their music, which is cool. You know, I saw, who was it I saw? Somebody put a clip of some gentleman, a beautiful black brother who was figure skating to some recent song, and it was just so beautiful. But because now they are, oh, thank y'all, because now they are using lyrics, there are issues coming up with copyrights, y'all, because when you are there are different copyrights. There's performance copyrights and there's broadcast copyrights. Now, admin for creatives can get you into all that, but suffice it to say, because the Olympic figure skaters are now allowed to use songs that have lyrics, they are running into a lot of copyright issues when they are submitting their songs for their segments, right? You've had some figure skaters who have had to change their songs maybe 1 or 2 days before their Olympic performance. Yes, a lot of copyright strikes admin for creatives. They've had to change their songs a couple of days before their performance. Now, keep in mind, this is a routine they're doing, right? So if you have to change your routine 2 days before you are performing for an Olympic medal, right? That can cause a lot of anxiety just for me. I mean, might not you, but I would be shaking in my boots. So, because now Olympic skaters are allowed to use lyrics when they are performing, they are finding a lot more trouble when they're trying to get their songs cleared to get on the ice. Okay, so again, getting copyright clearance is very important. Hold on. Admin for Creatives said, imagine if music creatives used clean versions of the songs. I'm not, can you clear that up? I don't understand that comment. Imagine if music creatives used clean versions of the songs. Can you let me, Mossy Luke, you in here? Yes, girl. Okay. Get it going, Mossy Luke. I love all the activity. Okay. But so suffice it to say, because again, copyright law has to catch up, right? We are not the as the rules change, the laws have to catch up too. But the law is always going to be, oh, using a clean version will make clearance easier. Okay, thank you for letting me know that. Oh, y'all are coming out. Everybody's coming in. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Okay, so again, when you are performing music that is not your own in any in any venue, it doesn't just have to be the Olympics, right? Thank you all for the heart means, yay! You have to make sure that you've got the right clearance. The issue that a lot of these Olympic figure skaters have been coming up on is that they don't. I mean, there's performance rights and then there's broadcast rights, right? Again, the differences between the different rights when you have copyrights, go to admin for creatives like for that, because she is the music industry mama's maven, giving you hey, giving you all that. But it has something to do with them not having the right copyrights to be able to perform that on television. Okay. All right. Moving on to music, my musical people. This is why you need to make sure that you have your music checked out. Thank y'all for coming in. I know I've been missing y'all. Guys, I had to take a break from social media. Like I was okay, you gotta run. Oh, well, thank you for stopping by. Everybody say bye to Mossy. Everybody say bye to Mossy Loop. I'm good, the Lit Lab. Last week was really tough for me. I don't know if you guys knew, but I lost a family member a couple of days before Christmas, and her birthday came up last week, and we as a family, we've been devastated. We were like, it was just not a good week. We were all on our family group chat like sobbing with each other. So I really took a break from social media last week, but I'm back and I'm here. So all right, but I thank y'all for coming in and seeing the support. That really makes me feel good. All right, next story that we are going to. Okay, thank you, Mossy Loop. Okay, so this is why it's important for you guys to protect your names. Okay, this is the title of this story is "Small Business Destroys Competitor in Epic Trademark Battle." Okay, here is what happened. In 2024, this company trademarked their name. The name of the company is Folks Home Services Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical LLC. So this is a company, they're doing all your HVAC, your plumbing, your electrical. They're doing all the stuff that your house needs, and they're called Folks. So we're gonna shorten it to Folks Home Services. Can you guys please type Folks in the comments so that I know that I know that you're following me. FOLKES, Folks Home Services. Okay, so 2024, Folks Home Services, they trademarked their business name, Folks Home Services Heating, Cooling, Plumbing, and Electrical LLC. All right. Okay, so they get the name in 2024. 2026, another company comes up and starts calling themselves Folks Brothers Home Services, FOLKES. So we have Folks Home Services, and then we have Folks Brothers Home Services. And Folks Brothers Home Services is doing the same thing that Folks Home Services do. Your heating, your cooling, your plumbing. Do you guys see a possibility now? And both of these are in the state of New York. Okay. Do you guys see a possibility of confusion between Folks Home Services and Folks Brothers Home Services? And they're both doing, in-home repairs. Is there a possibility of confusion? You, as the average consumer who might be looking for plumbing, who might be looking for electrical work, if you see Folks Home Repair and then Folks Brothers Home Repair, is there a possibility of confusion between the two businesses? What y'all think? I got 5 people over here watching me on the stream, y'all. I know I got 2 of y'all over here on the TikTok. Let me know. Is there a possibility of confusion between Folks? Hey, Mrs. Roberts, between Folks. Thank you, doll. Folks. Okay, Mrs. Roberts. If you are hiring, let's say you got a plumbing issue at your home, and somebody recommends a plumbing company to you called Folks, FOLKES, and you go looking up Folks for home repair, and you see Folks Home Repair. Thank you, doll, for the Go Populars. Folks Home Repair, and then you see Folks Brothers Home Repair. Would you find that confusing? Would you think that they were related? If you're Googling for home repair, somebody recommends a company named Folks, FOLKES, and then you see Folks Home Repair and then Folks Brothers Home Repair. Would that cause you confusion? Hey, Zakia. Mrs. Roberts said, I would most certainly be confused. Okay. So, folks home repair, because they did their due diligence and they trademarked their name in 2024, they were able to file a trademark infringement suit against Folks Brothers Home Services and get or home repair and get them to stop using the name. Okay. So this is why and they're gonna, and they might be able to get profits, right? Because so Folks Brothers, I don't know if the Folks Brothers, they might be related to the Folks Home Services, right? If Folks Brothers was able to take away business from Folks Home Services because of that similar name, if they win the lawsuit, because they're in court right now, Folks Home Services will be able to get whatever profits Folks Brothers got while they were using the name. So now we don't have a decision right now in terms of the outcome, but the court has said that the lawsuit can go forward. So this is why it is very important. One, you want to make sure that your business name is unique, and two, when you trademark it, because this is the age of trademarking, we can't just leave it up to chance these days. You need to vigilantly be looking out to make sure that nobody's trying to steal your thunder, okay? Because if you let it go, it could become generic. All right. So, good job on Folks Home Services for making sure that they had their trademark in order. Okay. Before we move on to our next story, y'all see I got a shoppable live. That's how they get people into this live for me. If you need a sticky thing for your phone, these grippy things, you can see it. They are fantastic. The one in my shopping cart, it has 3 in it, and they actually give you an extra one, an extra large one in the order. So if you're trying to stick it on your mirror, if you're trying to do some type of like makeup, or if you're just trying to get it on a surface where you can't get your tripod, check out the shopping bag. Also, this light, hey, this is the light off. This is me with the light on. Magic. All right. Okay, moving on. How many of y'all know the song Creep by Radiohead? But I'm a creep. Oh, yeah, yeah. I'm a weirdo. What the hell am I doing here? Okay. I'm doing a little too much, but if you know the song the song Creep by Radiohead, give me a thumbs up in the comments. Give me a thumbs up in the comments, or just type Radiohead. Just let me know that you know what I'm talking about. Okay. Anyway, if you didn't know, the song Creep was actually a remake. The Radiohead was inspired by another song that was dropped in 1972 called The Air That I Breathe. Okay. This song had hit number 2 on the UK charts. Okay. But of course, their version of Creep, it got more and more popular. And then because the song got so popular, it got really popular because it was in Beavis and Butthead. The originators of that song sued Radiohead and was like, run us a coin. You remade our song to make a little Creep song, and now it's getting popular with Beavis and Butthead. We want our Monets. Okay. Now here is the kicker. So Radiohead, they had to run some credits. Now, are any of you guys Lana Del Rey fans? Are any of you guys Lana Del Rey fans? Okay. Lana Del Rey. If you didn't know, she had a song that she released called Get Free, right? And this song, Radiohead again, who was sued by this 1970s band over Creep, they sued Lana Del Rey for copyright infringement, for plagiarism. Okay. And not only that, they wanted 100% of her profits. Okay. 100%. Even though now Lana Del Rey, she offered them 40, but they wanted 100%. But again, this is why, like, when you are writing music, when you are writing music, when you're creating music, if you are inspired by somebody else's music, you really, really need to get clearance, guys, because again, the music game has changed. Nobody's buying physical copies, everybody's streaming, everybody wants their percentage. You need to get clearance. It is just a necessity in this day and age. So it's very interesting that Radiohead, who was sued for copyright infringement, is now suing Lana Del Rey, or tried to sue. Okay. Now, I had this story about the NFL, but they already make a bunch of money, so whatever. But of course, because of the Super Bowl, the NFL was worried about, a lot of fake merch. So they were cracking down. The NFL makes 3 billion, 3 billion with a B. They make $3 billion a year off of merch. I'm not worried about you, NFL. Okay. You will be all right if somebody sells a couple t-shirts, but I digress. Okay. We're gonna go back to the Olympics, y'all. Of course, with the Olympics, different heads of state and different political leaders are gonna go and drop in and hang out, right? Well, the second in command of this ridiculous administration, J.D. Vance and his wife, they attended the Olympics, right? So they went to Italy to go attend the opening ceremonies. And apparently people were not happy with them there. Apparently JD and his wife, they were booed by the audience, and they are trying to suppress the footage using copyright claims. Somebody is claiming that they own this footage of J.D. Vance in public getting booed, right? And there is a suspicion that this copyright claim, it's just being used as copyright abuse, because they don't want this embarrassing video of a political leader being booed out in the atmosphere. As a matter of fact, I think it had ended up on X or Twitter, whatever, and then it was taken down. Yeah, they're trying to suppress free speech using copyright infringement, y'all. Okay. All right. This next story is a little sensitive, but I do want to ask you guys' opinion about it. Okay. Now, in March 2023, okay, there was a pew-pewing at a school. Okay. Somebody went and pew-pewed. Whoa, 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 whoa. Why are you doing this? This is not what I asked. Okay. Hold on, y'all. Okay, there we go. In 2024, there was a pew-pew-pew at a school, okay? The police neutralized the person who was doing the pew-pewing, all right? The person who was doing the pew-pewing had a manifesto. A lot of times, these people who do these type of things, they have some writings that they want to leave behind for the world to, I don't know, let people know, whatever, what the whole hubbub was about. Anyway, he had a manifesto that he left behind. People wanted to read the manifesto, right? But because he was no longer with us, because he had been neutralized and unalived by the police, his parents were now in charge. His parents inherited his copyrights to his writings, right? And the parents did not want the manifesto in public, okay? So the parents are saying that because they are now in control of the copyrights for their son's um, work of the mind, his manifesto, they should be allowed to block any release of the manifesto. But the Court of Appeals says that, according to the Public Records Act, people should be allowed to inspect records, even if copying might be a copyright issue. Okay. So now, what that means is if somebody wants to read the manifesto of the person who did the pew pew, right? They can go and look it up. Now, if they want to look it up and then copy it and distribute it, they could get into trouble by the parents, because the parents do not want this release. So they're saying if you just want to read it for your own edification, it's out there. But if you want to report on it, like, and do some type of commentary, whatever, the parents, they do not want it in the atmosphere like that. So you might get yourself hit with a copyright infringement suit. Okay. So there is really a butting of heads of, the public having a right to know versus copyrights, what do you call that? First Amendments versus intellectual property rights, right? Because the parents, they control the copyrights, but we as a society, we're allowed to know what this person who went and did this tragic thing, what were they thinking, right? It's in the public interest. So I will be interested to see if this manifesto is released on some type of extra, because you can find it, I think, on some Tennessee website, but it's not everywhere. You got to really go look for it. Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break. How y'all doing? How y'all doing? Y'all all right? What's going on? Are you feeling good tonight? My people out here in the streamosphere, the StreamYard sphere. If you're joining us on, the Tube of Views, the Book of Faces. Oh, shoot. I forgot to put my Gramatha up. Hey, things happen. How y'all doing? I just want to take a quick water break because I'm a little bit parched. Yes. Okay. When I get parched, I start talking faster. So having the water kind of helps slow, Okay. So did you know that song lyrics are copyrighted? Yes, you knew song lyrics were copyrighted because they are part of the 7 copyrights that have to do with music. Okay. Again, if you are a person who is in music, I'm gonna need you to follow Admin for Creatives on here on this Tickety Talk. Okay. She is on here giving you free game, telling you how to get all your money as an artist. Yes, so Universal Music, UMG, they filed a big copyright infringement lawsuit against Anthropic. Anthropic is the company that does the Claude AI model, right? So they filed a lawsuit because Anthropic has been using pirated material. Hi, Fit King. Thank you for the heart. Thank you. Oh, well, thank you for the likes. I'm good. Are we following each other? Yes, thank you. Right. So Universal Music, they are suing Anthropic, the AI company that has the Claude AI model, because they are using technology that essentially scrapes information and gets the lyrics for songs. Now, remember, lyrics are copyrighted material. Okay. So instead of licensing the lyrics, Anthropic, they built a permanent internal library redistributing copyrighted material through torrents and stripping copyright notices before feeding it into their AI model. So they had a whole process for basically stripping down the information that they found for to feed their AI model and to kind of, I guess, erase the digital VIN number. That's like um that's like the best thing that I could that I could describe it as. They would strip it off, take off all the protective things, and then you just have it. Okay. Thank you very much. Okay. So now keep in mind, AI Anthropic, they had this recent lawsuit where they tried to settle for 1.5 billion because of their copyright infringement, because they thank y'all. 1.5 billion for pirating information. Oh, y'all coming in now. Oh, honey, so funny. Hey, Tom. All right. Right. So now we have another thing for every act. Honey's so funny. Honey, she's home. Hey, doll. Oh, thank you for the love, everybody. Oh, I feel special. I feel special. I special. I special. Thank you, guys. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. You did bring friends. Thank you so much. Thank y'all. So we are continuing our story. Let me just recap it real quick. Thank you for the hearts. Okay. We were talking about song lyrics, the music industry, honey. You came in at the right time, honey. Okay. So Universal Music Group. Yes, God is awesome. Universal Music Group, they have recently launched a lawsuit against Anthropic because Anthropic has been pirating song lyrics. Song lyrics are copyrighted, right? Thank you. Song lyrics. Thank you. Y'all are awesome. But song lyrics are protected, right? But Anthropic had this whole thing where it was like a washing process. They were stripping down the lyrics and taking off all the copyrights and feeding it into their AI model. So UMG, thank you for all the stickers. They are sick of it. They have launched a lawsuit, and they are launching another lawsuit against Anthropic. Again, remember, Anthropic, they tried to have that settlement earlier, well, not earlier in this year, but end of last year. They tried to settle their infringement lawsuit for $1.5 billion. And the court said, whoa, 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 that's not enough. You got to go back to the drawing board. So there's a lot going on here. And the fact that you keep getting sued for the same thing, you're pirating information. And for you and the CEOs, they're all saying, well, if we have to get clearance for all of the stuff that we use to feed our model, AI won't exist. And I remember writing things down and going to the library and doing some research. And yes, I love me a Google. And yes, I love me a Chat GPT and all of that. But I'm not at the expense of people's work. No. Anyway. But I digress. Okay. All right. But I say that to say this. Protect my music people. Protect your intellectual property. Get your copyrights. Okay. If you don't know, there's like 7 different copyrights that you can get when it comes to your music, which includes your lyrics. If you don't know all of them, follow Admin for Creatives. I don't know if she's still in the room, but she does lives on here like 3 times a week. Okay. All right. Moving on to our next story. Okay, guys, this is a nightmare story for somebody who, wants their work. So in 2022, there was a camera operator by the name of Cade Wallman. Okay, so this is a guy who shoots footage. How many of you guys have ever hired a videographer? If you have hired a videographer, give me some type of video emoji in the comments. Okay. Now, he was hired to shoot footage for what was called a low budget comedy series called Last Stop the Series in Sioux Falls, North Dakota. Okay. Now, so he gets hired to film the content. Film the content. They say, hey, we're going to give you money to come film this content, right? During production, the cameraman doesn't like the way the show is going. He doesn't like the direction of the show. And he gets into an argument with the production people and he leaves. Now, I have never known camera operators to have a say in the way that things are shot. I just thought that they were just kind of, supposed to do the job. But I'm not in that field, so I don't know. Okay. Anyway, the cameraman during the production, he's like, I don't like the way things are going. I'm out. I'm out. Right. So he leaves. And then he tells the producers, don't use any of my footage. Right. So fast forward to 2025, he realizes that his footage is being used and he tries to sue for copyright infringement. But he loses. The case is dismissed. Why does he lose? Why is the case dismissed? First of all, he never had possession of the footage. All of the footage that he shot for this comedy show was shot on the equipment of the producers. Okay. Then the footage never left their possession. So there was never any time where he actually took possession of this footage that he filmed where he could say, this is mine. Okay. So in order to be able to sue for copyright infringement, you have to have a copyright filed. Because he did not have a copyright filed, because he never took possession of the footage, the case was dismissed. Essentially, he was a work for hire. You were just hired to point and shoot, Scooby-Doo, okay? You were not hired to give input on how this thing was shot. So, while he may object to the footage that he shot being used in this comedy show, at the end of the day, it was never yours because you never filed a copyright. It was never in your possession. You shot it on equipment that wasn't yours. So if you want something, if you want to be able to claim intellectual property rights to a piece of work, right? Specifically copyrights, you're going to need to show proof. If you can't show me where you created it, if you don't have possession of it, how do I know you created it? Right? Okay. So, moving on. So y'all, Floyd Mayweather, actually, do you want to talk about Floyd Mayweather? Ooh. How far are we into the show? 38 minutes? Okay. I want to start from the bottom up and work my way up. Oh, yes, this is what I wanted to talk to you about. Okay. Creatives, okay? The Library of Congress, they just dropped a major copyright update. And they are having a virtual meeting on February 25th, 2026. Again, the Library of Congress, they are hosting a copyright public modernization committee meeting on February 25th, 2026 at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is completely free. It is being hosted by the Library of Congress. All you have to do is register. Okay. They're going to be talking about their new copyright system and how copyright registration is going to work going forward. Okay. So they're trying to update the copywriting system, and it's going to start with this meeting. So if you are interested, if you are a creative, I would suggest you get in on this. It's a virtual meeting. It's totally free. All you have to do is register with the Library of Congress. Okay. I'm going to clip this and put it in some type of highlight thing, because this is very important for people to know. The next thing I wanted to talk to you guys about. Okay, so Floyd Mayweather is suing Showtime. Okay. Floyd Mayweather, interesting. Hold on. Hold on. Floyd Mayweather is suing Showtime. Boxing advisor. And he is suing them because he said that they owe him about $340 million. Okay. Um, it seems a lot like a Mike Tyson Don King situation. So apparently in 2005, Floyd Mayweather had a contract with Al Heyman. He was his manager. It was supposed to be a 1 year type thing, but it went for 10 years. Okay. And where he was supposed to pay Al Heyman a 10% management fee. 2013, Mayweather leaves HBO and then goes to Showtime, and that's where a lot of his big fights were broadcast on Showtime. The one with Pacquiao and Conor McGregor, right? After the Pacquiao fight, Floyd says that Showtime did not give him all his money and that they still owe him $20 million from the Berto fight alone. Okay. Now, in 2024, Floyd's new management team, he got new management. They asked for detailed accounting records from Showtime related to his major fights, but Showtime allegedly failed to produce them. Okay. They said that the files were lost due to a flood. So Floyd Mayweather is suing Showtime because he says they owe him millions, hundreds of millions of dollars. He asked for the accounting records, and they said, we ain't got them. They said they got lost in a flood. Okay. Now this is in 2024. Now in 2025, in the beginning of 2025, an article drops in Business Insider basically saying that Floyd is broke. They said that he had like $54 million in loans, foreclosures, liens, and the sale of his $60 million jet. Okay. So right after this article comes out saying that Floyd is broke, he sues Showtime for $340 million and says that y'all were supposed to pay me all this money and you never did. Okay. Now, here's the issue with me. This isn't really about intellectual property. This is more about good stewardship. And I tell you guys these things all the time. You need to know what's going on with your money. You need to know what's going on with your money, okay? Especially when you have a lot of it, it is very easy for people to steal money when you have a lot of it. Look at how many have gotten into that situation. Rihanna had her money stolen by her accountant. Andra Day right now is going through a lawsuit because her manager apparently stole $1.6 million from her. Now we have Floyd Mayweather suing Showtime because apparently they sent the money to his manager and not to him. Now, I remember there was this clip that the Breakfast Club played a while ago. Floyd Mayweather was up there trying to promote some stuff, and he was reading the things, and we found out that Floyd Mayweather does have some issues with fluency is in his reading. I don't know if that affects his reading comprehension, but Floyd Mayweather is not necessarily the biggest scholar in the world. So when you have someone who isn't necessarily the best at reading, who has a lot of money at their disposal, and a lot of people saying that they can help you, it is very easy for those people to to get into your things and steal from you if you're not paying attention. I don't care how much money you have. You need to be tracking your money. Know where every dollar is going. Like you need to know if somebody's stealing from you. You can't just set it and forget it. Okay. But this is just a very good example of why you need to be aware of where your money is going, understand your contracts, and act on them, right? Because now we hear, as long as I have seen Floyd in the media, Floyd has been throwing money in our faces, saying that he rich, he rich, he rich. And now here we're hearing that you broke, you broke, you broke, and you're suing Showtime. Okay. All right. Now, um, how many of y'all have a Pandora account? If you have a Pandora account, type Pandora in the comments, okay? I love Pandora. I've had a Pandora account for at least 7 years. A paid Pandora account. And even before then I was using Pandora. I had all the commercials, but it's too many commercials now. I can't deal with it. Anyway, so there has been this lawsuit happening for a long time between comedians and Pandora. They're claiming that they were not getting royalties from Pandora streaming their comedy bits. Unfortunately, like, okay, so and it was a whole bunch of comedians did this. Okay. And their thing was, it wasn't that they didn't have licensing to stream because they had a broadcast license. They were claiming that there was no licensing for the underlying literary works, meaning the actual written jokes themselves. So remember how we were talking about the Universal Music Group suing Anthropic over the song lyrics? Essentially, the comedians are suing Pandora over the lyrics to their comedy bits, right? Now, here's the thing. The comedians knew that that their routines were being streamed on Pandora for almost 10 years. They never said anything, okay? And they were still receiving royalties from Pandora for sound recordings, okay? So they weren't getting the lyrics royalties, but they were getting the sound recording royalties, and they didn't complain about that, right? So what the judge said was, look, y'all were collecting these sound royalties for 10 years and y'all ain't say boo. Now you want the lyric royalties? So now there has been now this lawsuit was ongoing, but they have settled. We don't know what the final terms are, but the Pandora said that they did not pay for the literary works rights, okay? And they didn't acquire a license for those rights going forward. So basically Pandora got what they wanted. They're like, look, we paying you for the sound recordings. Don't get on our nerves. Okay. So the issues here, guys, if you see somebody using your stuff, you have 3 years from the time you know somebody is using your copyrighted work without your permission. You have 3 years from the time you know of the violation to file a lawsuit. These comedians waited 10 years. Again, you have 3 years from the time that you know a lawsuit, a copyright has been infringed or violated to file a lawsuit. That is why Murphy Lee lost his lawsuit against Nelly, because he was filing a lawsuit almost a quarter of a century after the song had debuted. Okay. All right. So I say that to say this. You need to make sure that you assert your rights early and often. Get your copyrights together, okay? All right. I don't know if I want to do this story because I don't like to give that Cheeto no shine. But, let's see where we are in the... Okay, we got about 10 more minutes. Hey, y'all. Listen, my StreamYardigans. Give your girl some love. Say something. Okay. Well, this is a funny one. Okay. So somebody developed an open source AI assistant. Okay. So basically somebody created an alternative to like Chat GPT and Claude and all that, right? But they were calling it Claudebot, CLAWDBOT, and it had a lobster emoji. Okay, so it was cool, it was fun. They had a theme, but Anthropic, remember, Anthropic, the AI company, their AI model is called Claude, CLAUDE. So somebody listening is probably going to get Claudebot and Claude confused, right? So Anthropic was like, hey girl, you don't want these problems. Okay. So they tried to change their name to Moltbot, but then nobody liked the name. So then they finally did the right thing. They did a trademark search, okay, which is what you need to do. And they even checked with OpenAI, and they landed on a new name, and they called their new open source AI Open Claw. It is a lobster theme. Um, and they've gotten a lot of engagement, but the the problem is that the security on this AI bot is a mess. They're saying that if you are not a tech person, meaning if you are not a person who knows how to code or whatever, stay away from Open Claude, CLAWD, because it's too dangerous for regular people. Because the moment you get on the Open Claude, people might be, there might be viruses and things that'll get downloaded onto your computer. So but this is just words of the wise. Make sure that you uh check, trademarks before you go naming things. Okay. All right. And then the last story I want to talk about, like, I don't really want to talk about him, but whatever. So the Grand Cheeto is trying to sue Trevor Noah, or threaten to sue Trevor Noah. The guy who is sitting in the White House right now, he has lawsuits against 6 different production companies. Okay. No, 5. Trump has a track record of threatening media figures, and he has 5 pending lawsuits against major outlets, including the New York Times and the Wall Street Journal. Can you imagine, like, the leader of the country is suing media outlets? Do you understand the chilling effect that this can have on free speech? Even if it doesn't go through, they might not want to deal with the hassle. So, copyrights can be used. No, this wasn't even about copyrights. This was about defamation. Okay. But the thing, but you are abusing the law to try and suppress, people who don't agree with you. That is not a proper use of the law. You're the leader of the country. Get a life. You have other things to do. All right. And plus, nothing that Trevor Noah said was defamatory. He was making a joke. Comedians, we all know that comedians, they make jokes about what is going on. Okay. So those were the stories that I wanted to share with y'all on tonight. Thank y'all for the love that you showed, even though I've been, MIA. Thank you for the interaction. Thank you for, putting up with my shenanigans. I will be splitting these stories up. Again, make sure that you check the shopping basket. Okay, check out my what you call that, showcase. You got the lamp, the selfie light. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. And then you got this little suction thingy. I don't even know what it's called, but it works like magic. Okay, and sticking on things. You just got to put a little bit of water. But yeah, so that's where I'm gonna leave you guys. Have a wonderful night and take care of yourselves. Okay, bye bye. And this stream, because I always leave it on.